Now on 4, Valerie Singleton presides over the years in questions.
Welcome, the lady with the questions and the answers, Valerie Singleton.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Backdate, the nostalgia quiz that nudges your memory about significant events and famous faces from the last 6 decades. Let's meet our 3 contestants who will play Backdate today. Clive Scott has taken early retirement and is a part-time tour leader. He lives in Ewell.
Yes, and my birthday is the 21st of October 1942, which was Trafalgar Day, and I share my birthday with the jazz trumpeter Dizzy Gillespie.
Which is unusual. And Clive, I believe you have a very splendid collection of bow ties, and you're wearing one today. How many have you got?
Oh, I change them regularly, but probably about 25. I think I do a bit of cooking, and I like a bit of wine, and I watched Keith Floyd, and I thought, what's he got that I haven't? Well, I decided it was some bow ties, so I thought I'd start a collection.
Well, you've got a very colourful one on today. Pat Elwood is a retired secretary and lives in London.
That's right, and I was born on the 7th of April 1929, and I share my birth date with Ravi Shankar, the sitar player.
You recently, I believe, went to a Buckingham Palace garden party. Was that fun?
Yes, it was great fun. It was on the date of my retirement. The only thing is it was a terribly, terribly hot day, and so I slipped my shoes off and paddled in the Queen's Lake.
John Ross, you are an NHS Trust Administrator and you live in Renfrew.
Aye, yeah. I was born on the 11th of July 1957 and I share my birthday with Robert the Bruce, King of Scotland.
Oh, that's splendid.
It is that.
As you live in Scotland. And I believe, John, you have one of those very valuable little Blue Peter badges.
Yes, I had the pleasure of winning a Blue Peter badge. I was the editor of the local primary school newspaper a long time ago.
Was it me who sent it?
I've got your signed photograph with John Noakes and Peter Purvis as well.
Have you really, John? You should have worn it today. Well, it's very nice to have you all on the show. Would you give a warm welcome, please, to Clive, Pat and John. On our masterboard, as you see, we have a selection of numbers, and these numbers represent days and months and years, and you can win or choose any of these numbers and form them into complete date lines on your grids. That's a day, a month and a year. You get 10 points for an ordinary answer. Once you've got a date line, we will then get a special question about that particular date stored in our computer. Got over 18,000 questions, all compiled from the very best sources, including newspapers of the day. And that, of course, gives you 30 bonus points if you get that right. Now, in the first round, the computer is scanning the board at random. When you buzz in, it stops. If you get the answer right, you get the number. If not, I throw it open to the other contestants. So are you ready to play round 1? If A is Alpha, B is Bravo, and C is Charlie, which sport represents John?
Golf.
Yes. Which sport represents a letter of the phonetic alphabet? Golf is right. You have number 23.
Day A, please.
Which woman athlete, after whom a sports stadium in Belfast is named? Setter, yes, Clive.
Mary Peters.
Yes. She set a world record in winning the pentathlon at the Munich Olympics. You have number 78, Clive.
Year A, please.
Which tropic has a reference of 23.5 degrees north, John?
Cancer.
Yes, Tropic of Cancer. You have number 9.
Month A, please.
What is the ordinary word now used as a suffix to denote a public scandal? Clive.
Gate.
Yes, gate. Began in 72 with Watergate, and we've subsequently had Iran Gate and so on. Number 6.
Month A, please.
Which fictional private eye has been portrayed on screen by James Garner, Elliot Gould and Humphrey Bogart? John.
Philip Marlowe.
Yes, that is right. You have number 3.
Month B, please.
Which small republic is situated on the slopes of Monte Titano, surrounded on all sides by Clive?
San Marino.
Yes, it's surrounded on all sides by Italian territory. You have number 18.
Day A, please.
Well done, Clive. Our first date line in round one, the 18th of June, 1978. This is what our computer has come up with for that particular date. Which 87-year-old American comedian, famous for Love in Bloom and Damsel in Distress, told a newspaper, "I was brought up to respect my elders, and now I'm so old, I don't have to respect anyone"?
Guess W.C. Fields.
No, that's quite a clever guess. It was actually George Burns. Which carry-on film regular starred in the TV sitcom Bless This House? John?
Sid James.
Yes, it was. You have number 27.
Day B, please.
Which bespectacled television comedian was famous for the catchphrase, "There's no answer to that"? Pat?
Eric Morecambe.
Yes, that is right. You have number 12.
I'll have month A, please.
And last question in this round. Which continent produces 44% of the world's coffee? Pat?
South America.
Yes, Pat, you've got number 1.
Day A, please.
So, at the end of that round, let's take a look at the scores. Pat on 20, Clive on 30, John in the lead on 40. Still very close indeed, so anything can happen in our next few rounds. Let me tell you about the second round, where you have rather more control over your destiny now, because I allow you to name the number that you would like on the board. And it's our entertainments round. We play you some music, show you some film and television clips, and read you some quotations. And nobody else can answer a question. They're just for individual contestants. Clive, would you like to begin by naming a number, please?
89, please.
Now, I know you like classical music, Clive. Do you also like sort of pop and...
I don't like pop. Although I share the birth date with Dizzy Gillespie, I don't like jazz. So I think I'm going to be a bit unstuck here.
Well, let's see what happens when you listen to this. Well, that was Where Everybody Knows Your Name, and the artist was Daniel Cain. And Where Everybody Knows Your Name was the theme tune to which long-running American television show? Oh, Clive, it was Cheers. Pat, name a number, please.
70, please.
A track for you, Pat.
Well, I sit down at the top and put my feet on the floor. I wrap the towel around me and I open up the door, and then a splish splash, I jump back in the bath. Well, I don't know, there was a party going on. They were splishing and splashing.
You're looking puzzled, Pat. I'll put you out of your misery. It was Splish Splash, very difficult to say, Charlie Drake, and it reached number 7 in the charts in 1958. Now, during the 1960s, Charlie Drake starred as an unemployed man in which classic television sitcom?
Drake's Run.
No, I'm sorry, Pat. The clue was the word unemployed. The series was actually called The Worker. John, would you like to name a